Viewers, what I'm about to tell you today is unprecedented in the history of Indian electoral politics. Mamata Banerjee's party, the Trinamool Congress, has injected two Bangladeshi actors into India's democratic poll process by getting them to campaign for a TMC candidate in the border towns with sizable minority population. Now, this reliance on an external hand, which was secret till a few days ago, till Times Now reported this story yesterday, to power India's domestic politics is fraught with danger. Imagine tomorrow, viewers, if a particular candidate in the state of Jammu and Kashmir with a separatist outlook decides to get a Pakistani famous personality slash celebrity slash actor to campaign for him or her in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Or what if tomorrow Mamata Banerjee decides that one of her candidates in the border towns with a sizable minority population would benefit by her asking for the Pakistani High Commissioner or some actor from Pakistan to campaign for her? Imagine the quid pro quo that would develop. Imagine how compromised that candidate would actually be, how compromised that political party might be. It's not as if, viewers, we don't have individuals who are sympathetic to a separatist agenda, or even individuals on the other side of our borders who try to incite passions in this country. Now, I want you to pay attention to some of the facts that I'm going to present here. The Trinamool Congress got two Bangladeshi actors to campaign for one of their candidates in Bengal. The BJP complains to the Election Commission after Times Now's report for violation of the Model Code of Conduct to appease minorities. Then the Home Ministry seeks a report. Let's press the continue button there. The Home Ministry seeks a report from the Siliguri District Administration. The MHA also seeks a report from the Foreign Regional Registration Officer. Bangladesh government then asks the actors to return home and not campaign, which is something that we just reported, and then asks these actors only to return to shoot in India if they are doing so only after the elections are completed. Now, viewers, Ghazi Abdul Noor was the campaigner. That individual on your screens, and that's Firdaus Ahmed, the second actor. And once again, let's give you more facts. Ghazi Abdul Noor campaigned for Sugato Roy, the TMC MP from the Lok Sabha, who is seeking re-election from that particular constituency. And Firdaus Ahmed campaigned for Kanhaiya Agarwal of the TMC. And all of them now have been asked to return to Bangladesh. Now, BJP, obviously, the principal opposition to the TMC, the left, the Congress, all quite upset at this development, as one could assume them to be. But it's the BJP that has taken the lead and knocked on the Election Commissioner's door and questioned the over-reliance on Bangladeshis. Now, I want to tell you, viewers, that in one of these constituencies there is an area called North Dinajpur. And in this particular area in 2001, the Hindus were in dominant numbers. Exactly a decade later, it's the Muslims who are now in dominant numbers. In just 10 years, the demographics of this constituency has changed because it abuts Bangladesh. Now, there are two implications, and I'll come to those. But listen to the reactions that have come on this story. Viewers, listen to this.
जब भी कोई विदेशी नागरिक हमारे यहाँ आता है तो उसको पर्पस बताना पड़ता है कि किस पर्पस के लिए आ रहा है। जिस प्रकार बांग्लादेश के घुसपैठी आ रहे हैं, उसी प्रकार वहाँ के यदि आर्टिस्ट भी आकर टीएमसी का प्रचार करेंगे तो मैं समझता हूँ ये एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मर्यादाओं का भी उल्लंघन है।
We never heard that foreign nationals, they are not allowed to take part in election. We never heard. As such, I don't think there are in any sort of rule is there so far the election manual is concerned.
Never heard, says the TMC candidate. Never heard that foreigners are expressly barred from campaigning for an Indian political party or a candidate. Now remember, viewers, foreign funding is barred. Obviously, because foreign funding would mean that a particular candidate would be compromised. So why wouldn't that logically extend to a foreign candidate? Imagine if a Pakistani ISI officer or an army officer visiting India on a business visa, or perhaps a Pakistani actor on a business visa who has sympathies for separatists and has never condemned terror, starts campaigning for a political party. That would open a whole new can of worms. Viewers, I want to bring in Nikunj Garg and Tamal Saha for the implications of this big, massive, unprecedented development. Nikunj, Internal Security Editor, the rules are very clear. You can't just walk into India with a visa for some other purpose and end up doing something quite different and perhaps even get paid for it. And that's the reason why you have had action against these Bangladeshi actors.
Well, Rahul, absolutely unprecedented action. You know, in my over 13 years of covering the Ministry of Home Affairs, I have seen this Leave India notice being served on an individual or two individuals in this case with this amount of alacrity for the first time. And for a very simple reason. This is not BJP, this is not Congress, this is not Trinamool Congress. Elections or the passage of elections is a sacrosanct sovereign process in any country. Remember, the biggest controversy in the latest US elections, the probe in which has just about ended, and the Congress is yet to see the report, was the Russian meddling in the American election process. And that was not the election process, but it was in the primaries. And here you have foreign nationals openly campaigning for a party which is not only ruling one of the most populous states of this country, but also it claims to be one of the leading opposition parties and at least has such strength in the Lok Sabha. So, I mean, it's completely unprecedented, unheard of. In the morning when I started speaking to the officials of the Ministry of Home Affairs, they were quite flummoxed that somebody as senior a politician or as veteran and administrator like Mamata Banerjee probably giving a tacit sanction to this entire situation is something that took them by complete surprise. And then this entire chain of events started happening.
Well, let me tell you, it is very, very strange.
Just about 20 minutes back, we had reported.
It's very, very strange, Nikunj, and I want to bring in Tamal on this. Tamal, the implications are fraught for India's democratic process. Now, I want to tell you something. A few years ago, when the left was in power, Mamata Banerjee had a real problem with illegal migrants being surreptitiously, illegally given voting rights by the left. She opposed it. When she came to power, she reversed her philosophy. And in 2019, she is now bringing in Bangladeshi campaigners, or perhaps ignoring the fact that some of her candidates are relying on them. Now, is this the reason why? And I want to ask you, because the demographics have changed, as I pointed out in North Dinajpur. Is this the reason why Mamata Banerjee opposes the citizenship bill or any verification drive that could have been conducted under the aegis of the NRC to basically determine illegals? Because she is actually getting tacit support from them.
Well, Rahul, it's not mere coincidence and accidental that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who was campaigning in North Bengal today, said, and I quote, BJP leaders are saying they will implement NRC in Bengal. We will not allow that. In Assam, they excluded the names of 22 lakh Bengali Hindus. Names of Biharis, Gorkhas and others have been also excluded. Under Citizenship Amendment Bill, you will become a foreigner for 6 years. There is no guarantee they will give citizenship to you after that. Everyone who came to India till March 25, 1971 is an Indian citizen. Yes, Rahul, as you rightly mentioned, at the heart of it is the NRC debate, something that Mamata Banerjee had strongly, vociferously opposed. And now when you see a Bangladeshi actor campaigning in North Bengal, specifically in North Dinajpur, which has seen a substantial rise of one particular community over the other and changing the entire demography over the past 10 years, there comes the obvious question as why was the Bangladeshi actor brought in the first place? Was it mere a coincidence? Because Trinamool Congress minded has not issued any statement on behalf of the party. Had Trinamool Congress issued a statement distancing itself, saying that it was just an act of mischief or it was a callous act, we could have still understood. But the very fact that Trinamool Congress has maintained a silence gives a lot of scope for opposition and everyone to question and wonder why was this tolerated, entertained at the first place.
Absolutely, Tamal. There are implications and we are going to go through some of them. I just want to open this out. Stay on with us because I might come back to you for some basic factual checks. But I'm sure there will be some of our panelists who will defend this. I want to open this out and I want to begin this evening with Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist. Sabha Naqvi, I find this at odds, at great odds with precedent, number one, and number two with practice. Now imagine tomorrow, Pakistani stars, Pakistani businessmen, Pakistani influencers, perhaps those with separatists or leanings towards separatists coming in and being asked by a candidate in Jammu and Kashmir to campaign for them. Isn't this a very dangerous precedent that is being set, Sabha Naqvi? Okay, I don't think we have her. Nishant Verma, why don't you answer?
Thank you. I would like to make 4 quick points here. I agree with Nikunj when he says that never heard of. Yes, we have had a prime minister never heard of who goes and tosses his logic about history and geography.
Listen, let him respond, okay?
So there are a lot of never heard of things which are happening. But then the first answer is pertaining the matter. Election Commission has said there is nothing in the rule book. So let's not straight away go to Jammu, Kashmir and Pakistan, because there are several other states in the country also where these things have happened in any and many other ways. Don't forget September 2017 when Gujarat was on the verge of going for Vidhan Sabha elections, the assembly elections, and Mr. Modi takes 8-kilometer open jeep Karma along with Shinzo Abe, who was the premier of Japan here. That was a kind of, not even model code of conduct was there, but that was a kind of prachar using a premier of another country. Don't we know that? But here, when we are talking about a foreigner, an actor in Bengal, by any TMC or any other person being used for the campaigns, if the rule book does not have a problem, who are we? Who are we to have a problem? I don't mind even if Mr. Modi gets Donald Trump to do anything kind of prachar for him, if that is not hindering the rule book. But please do not straight away go to Kashmir and Pakistan. We have other states also. So that is my
there are several states, sir, that are in precarious border regions with an overarching influence from foreign states. Are you suggesting, sir, that if foreign funds are not allowed, then we should allow foreigners to begin campaigning in this country with the same objective?
So when you are talking about...
No, I'm asking you. Please explain this and let me tell you
I will come
that
to your point.
There are very specific...
Let
me finish. There are very specific MHA guidelines that have been laid down. You can't come in here on a business visa and start campaigning. You can't come in without informing certain agencies of the actions that you're about to commit in this country. And let's be obvious and honest tonight, Mr. Nishant Verma. Isn't this the reason why Mamata Banerjee today objects to the NRC or the citizenship bill? Because she knows that her vote bank today comprises of a large number of Bangladeshis who have tripped across the border and who perhaps have been able to acquire voting rights in this country by getting fake electoral IDs.
Fantastic. May I? Okay.
First, there was an audio.
Very quickly, 3 points on to what you have said. Number one, we cannot connect FDI, foreign direct investment, or some kind of foreign funding for polls and voting and election along in line with people who come from outside, if in case for doing prachar. That cannot be brought it together.
Let's call.
Second point about the MHA
No.
guidelines.
Let's call. Let's allow.
You are
1 second.
absolutely right.
Let's allow some of those
sir.
with separatist tendencies in the state of Jammu and Kashmir to summon Hafiz Saeed. He's also a politician now, as you know, in Pakistan. Let him come and campaign in India.
Jammu and Kashmir.
No, there is nothing. Tomorrow, what stops Mamata Banerjee from extending an invite, sir?
No, let me put up now.
No, what sort of precedents are we setting?
I will give you an answer. If you're asking a question, I'm giving you an answer. I am giving you an answer about foreigners coming into India and doing direct or indirect prachar.
I am asking you.
Bengal and Jammu Kashmir.
Would you want Hafiz Saeed to come to? No. Would you want Hafiz Saeed or the boss of the JBM to come in campaign, sir, in our border regions? I'm asking you a simple question. Do you have an answer? It's a precedence, right? The rule book doesn't stop it according to you.
I would now I will give you a perfect answer to your very good question. I would love Hafiz Saeed to come to Srinagar and we grab him. We arrest him. And if need be, we kill him for his crimes.
Okay.
Come on, sir. Let's go step by step.
Let me ask the Bharatiya Janata Party. Gaurav Bhatia.
In 2014.
Gaurav Bhatia.
Yes, can I now respond? And I hope Nishanji would hear. First of all, when you can't run on the strength of your strong Indian legs, you need the crutches from Bangladesh, and that is the situation. Let us see the objective. What is the objective? This is the same Mamata Banerjee who said when NRC was being implemented under the Supreme Court supervision that there would be a civil war in India. And she is now trying to get a Bangladeshi actor for one reason, Rahul. She feels that Bangladeshi actor would appeal to the Bangladeshis. There are persons who have obtained fake IDs and they would be voting in the election. Therefore, rightly so urged by the BJP that Election Commission of India should immediately intervene. And this is nothing but an attempt by Mamata Banerjee to again communalize the elections in West Bengal, which she has been doing for quite some time. My second point is, you would be remembering how when it comes to even Hindu rituals and Hindu festivals, she was reprimanded by the High Court, West Bengal High Court and the Supreme Court because she was only pandering to one particular religion and therefore banning the Hindus from even, immersing the Durga Mata's idol. So these are all examples that today also we see how in West Bengal, BJP workers are being killed for only one reason.
They have you're saying this is an unprecedented anti-national ploy to appease illegal migrants who have been given fraudulently voter ID cards and who Mamata Banerjee wants to have vote for the TMC. That's what you're saying. Okay, let me bring it.
Can I just say one more thing, if you allow me?
Very quickly. Let's not talk over each other, Nishant Verma. I'd asked Mr. Bhatia to keep quiet while you were speaking, so extend him the same courtesy. Very quickly, yes,
See,
Mr. Bhatia.
This is a state where the Honorable Supreme Court had said that on ground democracy doesn't exist. And what Mamata ji is doing, Mamata ji is showing lack of confidence in her own leadership because she has to call a Bangladeshi actor to campaign for her party. That means she knows
Let me bring in Sabha Naqvi.
is winning big in West Bengal.
Okay, let me ask Sabha Naqvi. That's a political point. Let's stick to the technicalities and the implications of this. Sabha Naqvi, has the TMC acknowledged the presence of fake Bangladeshi voters who have got by fraudulent means Indian voter ID cards, and she is now hoping to connect with them in the same idiom and the same language, and therefore turning a blind eye to the transgressions of her candidates who are pressing in Bangladeshi campaigners. 1. 2. Is this also the reason why?
So will you allow
Is
me
this
to
the
answer
reason
that?
why, Sabha Naqvi,
That's all I have
Mamata
to say. I
Banerjee
have-
opposes the NRC and the citizenship bill? Because her vote bank,
Yeah.
her vote bank might be endangered.
One thing, Rahul, I will just make one point to you since you spoke about, you are speaking about language and idiom. You do know that Rabindranath Tagore's words, Amar Shona Bangla, is the national anthem of Bangladesh. I am making some very simple points here. You know, Qazi Nazrul Islam was born here in Bengal, in United Bengal. You do know there's a cultural entity. I do not believe now that they are foreign nationals. They should be participant in the Indian elections. But before your channel was founded, before Amit Shah came up with NRC, there is a cultural entity called Bengal, which gave us Rabindranath Tagore, which gave us Qazi Nazrul Islam.
An entity
which
called
gave
India
us
also
Lalan
gave us
Fakir,
Allama Iqbal.
whose songs are the Baul music.
Who came up with the idea for Pakistan.
Yeah, so I am making a
let's not
point
try
to
to
you.
make a virtue. Look, ma'am, we all know that we were all one.
It also
Now
gave
certain
us
forces
Nathuram
have divided
Godse.
us.
Yes, yes.
And I don't
it
hear,
also gave
no,
us
1 minute,
Nathuram
and I don't
Godse.
hear for a moment.
India also gave us Nathuram Godse.
So please,
who
so
killed
please,
Mahatma Gandhi.
so please, let's talk about today, let's talk about now, and don't try to, let's not try to today.
I am telling you the reality of Bengali language and culture.
Ma'am, the reality of
doesn't need to
Bengal
export
today
anyone.
is that Mamata
That is the
Banerjee in
reality of Bengali
2001,
culture.
no, 1 second.
The reality
Mamata
of
Banerjee
Bengal
had a
today
problem,
is that
excuse
the
me.
BJP is trying to grow on a straightforward communal plank. That is the reality.
What is
Yes.
I
One minute,
don't
one
believe
minute.
in the way you perceive nation states.
Can I-
Like,
No.
we all know that.
What
I
kind
don't-
of
I
communal
believe in
plank is
in
this?
human
Explain to me.
state. I don't believe the way you talk.
Explain
so
to
either
me.
you allow me to say what I want to say. I have said my piece. I have reminded viewers Rabindranath Tagore's song is what is used by Bangladesh as its national anthem. Remember that. Remember that.
Can you
There
prove
is
to me
unity
the
also in this
antecedents
world.
of these
There
campaigners?
is not only division.
Can you prove to me the antecedents of these campaigners?
making a point
What
to you.
agenda might they
Should
be peddling?
Bangladesh
Who is to
expunge-
know?
Should Bangladesh?
Are you
do
taking- no,
think-
are you
Do you
taking-
think Bangladesh
Excuse
should
me.
expunge Rabindranath Tagore?
Listen to
because
me.
Because it is a Hindu Indian. I'm asking you.
I'm asking
I'm
you.
asking you. That is
1
the way
second,
you
I'm
talk.
asking you a very simple question.
I'm asking
Are
you.
you
Do
underwriting
think
the credentials
Bangladesh
of these two
should
actors,
stop
Sabha
using
Naqvi?
the words of
I'm asking you.
Rabindranath Tagore.
I'm asking
no,
you.
I'm not.
Are
I
you
don't think
underwriting?
They should be there. I
Then
said
let's.
it, they should
Then
not
let's.
be there.
No, no. Are you
They should not be
underwriting?
there.
If you are
I don't know
underwriting,
who
then we
these
can have
actors
this
are.
debate. If you
I
are
don't-
not, then you are on a weak wicket.
I'm telling you,
Because
I'm
the
not
laws
speaking
have been
about
bent.
that.
Now, I'm
telling
asking you,
about
why has
Tagore.
the law been
I'm
bent?
telling you about Lalan Fakir. I'm telling you about Nazrul Islam. I'll give
Rahul,
you
I
a
want
book
to
which I've
respond
written
to
about all
Sabha.
of
You're
this.
on a historical
I'll give it to
tangent.
you next time I meet you in person.
History has been a mute spectator to the
I'm
infiltration
on
in
a
the
cultural
northeast.
tangent.
Sabha Naqvi, please. You're on the
I'm-
wrong tangent. We don't want a history lesson. We are talking
So,
about
Rahul,
contemporary
do you
India,
think- do you
the
think
present state of
Bangladesh-
affairs. Then I
do
want to
think
ask you.
Bangladesh should
I want to
now
ask you.
remove-
Then I want
change
to
its
ask you.
national anthem. I'm
Sabha
asking
Naqvi,
you,
I want to
do
ask you a
think
very simple
Bangladesh should
question.
change its national anthem?
If you allow me.
Because a Hindu man has written it. I'm asking you that. By
I'm not-
your
I'm not-
argument, by
I'm
the
not
way
even
you're
understanding the-
arguing,
Let me
you
ask
know,
One second, one
should
second, one
Bangladesh
second.
change
Just
its
one
national
second.
anthem?
Okay.
Very simple question.
Okay, 1 second.
It's
Sabha
an
Naqvi.
interesting question.
Sabha Naqvi. Sabha Naqvi.
I want to ask
You're
you
so
that. Do you
smug.
think
You're so
Rabindranath
smug
Tagore's
right now.
songs-
No, you're
Do
so
you
smug
think-
in
do you
pulling
think
some
all of
analogy
this-
out of the mothballs of history. I am not going to fall for that bait and let this debate be
Mothballs?
derailed.
You
Listen
think
to me.
Tagore
I
can
want to
ever
ask
be in
you.
the mothballs? Do you think Tagore can ever be in the mothballs?
Can I
Rahul?
ask you a question?
Are you saying Rabindranath
Can
Tagore
I ask
never
you
be
a
in the
question?
mothballs?
It's not about Rabindranath
No.
Tagore. Why don't you
Are
try
you
to?
saying that?
Okay.
Are you saying
Sabha
wherein
Naqvi, you're
I
in
know
some
that's
mood
what I'm-
tonight. I don't know
am
what
asking
mood
you
you're in.
that.
I'm asking you a simple question. In
simple.
2005, Mamata opposed
I'm not in any
giving
mood.
voting rights
I
to
am
illegal
countering this
Bangladeshi
with
migrants.
largeness. I am countering narrow divisions.
Narrow
In the
division?
mind is
Okay.
without fear. Remember
Let's
that
talk
poem?
about
I'm
narrow
countering
division.
that with arguments of large.
Okay, let's talk about. Fair enough. Let's talk about.
Countering that with arguments of being large.
Great, you made a very important,
where the
pertinent
mind is
point.
without
Now, can we
fear,
move
where the
on
head
and
is
let me
held
ask the
high?
more? Let me ask the
Remember
more
that
pressing
Tagore
question.
poem?
Let me ask the more
know?
pressing question. Okay, In 2005, you're talking about narrow
Are you asking
divisions?
me or
You're talking about narrow divisions? In 2005, Mamata Banerjee opposes giving voting rights to illegal Bangladeshi migrants. It's a fact. Go check it. In 2018, she does a U-turn. In 2019, TMC candidate seeks help from Bangladeshi stars to woo Muslims. Is hunger for Muslim votes? And it's a very simple question.
think the stars
Behind
Bangladeshi
Mamata's
citizens
shocking
should be
precedents. And I want
No,
to bring
I don't
in
think the Bangladeshis should be there.
I want to bring in
I don't
Dr.
think the
Anirban
Bangladeshis should be there.
Ganguly. Dr. Anirban Ganguly, I need your point of view on this, sir. Explain to me. What has changed?
Rahul, I think Mamata Banerjee would be delighted that you have some thinkers on your panel who are post-national thinkers. Because the political theory that she is pushing in West Bengal now is post-nationalism. No country without borders. And therefore, I think she would be quite delighted to see your show and especially listen to some. You see, it doesn't matter at all that Tagore or Nazrul Islam, Tagore's Amar Shonar Bangla is the national anthem of Bangladesh. We recognize that, we revere that, and it doesn't matter that Nazrul Islam was born in Burdwan and chose to remain and become the poet laureate of Bangladesh. My grandfather had a very close relationship with Nazrul, being a poet himself. As long as Bangladeshi actors come here and stick to what they are meant to do or what they have professed to do, there is absolutely no issue and no problem. The problem arises when they come and violate their visa norms. And I'm sure the Trinamool Congress government doesn't have the right to issue political visas, because as far as I know, there are two categories of visas. So there's no issue on that. They are very popular actors. They are popular in West Bengal. They are popular in Bangladesh. And we enjoy that popularity and we appreciate that popularity. But the issue comes up when they indulge in campaigning for a particular political party. And I was surprised, you referred to Madan Mitro as a candidate. He's not the candidate, Rahul. Madan Mitro is the one, and I would like to ask Nishanji whether he even knows the constituency where Firdaus and Ghafoor have, where Firdaus and Noor have actually campaigned. So Noor has campaigned in Damdam constituency, participated in a road show with Professor Saugat Roy, and I'm very surprised how Professor Roy could even allow this, being a former union minister. The issue is not with the MCC. The issue is with the violation of visa norms. And I think we should be very clear on that. So let's not get into all that, Tagore and Nazrul Islam and all that. Nobody disputes that. And the issue is not about that. And I'm quite surprised to listen to Madan Mitro. Has he done his politics in the moon? He says he has not heard of anything like that. Let's come down to the basics. It's a violation of visa norms. And the Trinamool Congress, especially in the last 1 year, has been behaving very peculiarly. In fact, I can go back to Khagragor in October 2014, when the Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh modules were found operating an arms factory in Bardhaman in Khagragor, which saw a serial blast, and that factory was operating out of a building which belonged to a Trinamool Congress local leader. The intensity of the blast was such that you once saw the National Security Advisor going and taking stock of the situation on the ground. Then he went and had a meeting in Nabanno with the Chief Minister. This is all on public record, it's nothing secret. And after 2 days,
what's the point you're making?
West Bengal says the Khagragor blast. The point I'm making is there is a tendency towards pampering to separatist elements within West Bengal.
Okay, so that's the question. That's the question. I don't know if Ms. Roy Chaudhary can hear me. I want to bring her in on this. Ms. Roy Chaudhary.
The point is now.
1 second, Nishanji. 1 minute. I want to bring in Ms. Roy Chaudhary.
I want to ask.
Just a minute, please. I want to bring in Ms. Roy Chaudhary, Mr. Verma. She hasn't had an opportunity. Give me 30 seconds, please.
Unless Nishanji brings in Narendra Modi, his debates are not complete.
Okay,
and he brings in such ridiculous
Okay, one second. Ms. Roy Chaudhary, let me bring you in on this.
Simple question
to
for
what's
you,
happening in West
that
Bengal
if
today.
you say that these are only the visa norms that have been violated, why did the central government not arrest them?
Sir, they have been asked to
Answer.
go.
Arre-
It's an unprecedented
no,
move, and I will
no, they have
bring
been
Nikunj
issued a
back in. Now,
notice.
just 1
They
minute,
have been
please.
issued a
Asked to
notice.
go?
1 second, I'll bring
Just
Nikunj
like
back
Trinamool.
in. We'll answer that
I think
question. That's
Mr.
incidental. I
Nishant
want to bring in
Nishant
Roy
Nishant
Chaudhary.
knows-
Chowkidar is
Mr.
for?
Nishant
Okay.
knows the answer of
Fine,
the question
fine.
which is
Chowkidar,
asked.
sir, is
Your
a chore for
Chowkidar
you.
is
Fair
I think
enough.
he's
Okay,
asking-
1
he
minute.
knows
I want
the
to bring in
answer
Ms.
of
Roy
the question.
Chaudhary. 1
Use
second.
that terminology for an elected
No,
official.
he's using it.
Chowkidar
He's
is
using
for.
it. He's
I'm
using
saying
it.
I
Chowkidar
don't
is
allow
Roy
for.
Chaudhary.
Bangladesh,
I
Chowkidar is
don't
for
allow
me.
him. I object to it
Rahul,
strongly.
Rahul,
Sir,
Rahul,
Because
the
this-
one minute,
Bangladesh
one minute, one
Security
minute.
High Commission
Violate-
has
1 minute.
asked
Why
Mr.
did you not
Firdaus
arrest
to
them?
leave
Allowed to be used
Kolkata.
on your
Okay,
What
are
is
we
going
going
to
to...
Nishant
Go
has not
back.
updated his information.
Don't get into that.
He's not
visa
updated
norm.
his information.
We know how your
All I want-
visa
Okay, 1
norms
second,
are.
1 second. Let
Arre, chaliye.
someone else has been waiting actually
Don't
very
get into
patiently.
Shinzo Abe's road
Why
show.
did you
Okay.
You don't even know the geography of West Bengal.
1 minute, lower the
Let go.
faders. I want to bring in Ms. Roy Chaudhary. Ms. Roy Chaudhary, and I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Is this now an overt admission that there are Bangladeshis who have perhaps overstayed their welcome in this country, have somehow acquired papers which allow them now to vote, and Mamata Banerjee is using Bangladeshi actors who they recognize to woo them? And is that the reason why today Mamata Banerjee is so wary about the BJP coming out with a citizenship bill or instituting a survey, a citizenship survey?
আবার শুনতে পাচ্ছি না ভুল গেল
Ms. Roy Chaudhary, can you hear me? Yes, no? Okay, I don't think we have. Do we have? Ms. Roy Chaudhary, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, I want to ask Nishant Verma that same question. Nishant Verma, stick to the question I've asked you. Can you respond to me?
Please ask again.
Okay, the question is this a tacit admission? Is this a tacit admission on Mamata's party's part that Bangladeshis have got papers today and they can vote in that state illegally? Has this been proven?
See, for 5 years we have had a government who is working on development and vikas that we know of. I don't understand what kind of vikas and development and protection to the country mates they have given, because in last 5 years, if they were not able to shunt the people who are not from our land out of our land on these grounds, then who is illegal? Has any one person been identified as illegal? So if that not being the case, let's not go whether some Bangladeshi or Pakistani or an American can vote here or not.
What are you
Identify,
talking?
throw him out, then we talk about it.
We are talking
Till
about a
then,
very narrow
anyone
issue.
who
Yes,
has the
Mr. Bhatia,
election-
I want to ask you.
anyone who has the
I want to
election
ask you.
voting card,
Rahul, he has
very
no
narrow.
idea.
Any
Rahul
voter
has no
card,
idea
any
of the
person
ground
having
situation.
a voter
He has
card
no idea
can
of the
vote.
ground situation in West
We
Bengal.
can't-
He has no idea of the
Yes.
bordering constituencies.
I think there's a
He has no
problem here.
idea
Yes,
of the
Mr.
demographic
Bhatia.
situation
Rahul,
in West
this-
Bengal
Mr. Bhatia, I
today.
want to ask you a simple
this
question.
Debate, just a second, Rahul.
No, I
This
want to ask
debate
you the
itself
question.
shows how for the BJP,
I want to-
national security is the most important issue, and for opposition, especially the Congress and TMC, it doesn't matter to them whether national security is taken care of or not. They are only worried about their votes, even if
So
it
what
comes
have you
from
done
fake
in
No, no,
voters.
they are asking you, how does this constitute a
So what
national
have you done in
security
5
crisis?
years?
I
That's
will
what they're
tell
asking.
you. I will
Explain.
answer that.
Explain.
On
The
these
viewer
See,
wants to
yes.
understand this.
Of
First
national security,
principle
and
is
you rake it
that
up at
an
the end
Indian
when
will
you
have
don't have
allegiance
anything
to
talk
the
about
country.
in
That is
5
our
years.
motherland. A foreigner who comes in, first of all, he is somewhere vitiating the atmosphere, our elections, which are very pious. Second, he will have allegiance to his own country. Bangladeshis have illegally entered our country. Would that person be concerned about India? Or would he be concerned about his own Bangladeshi brothers and sisters? My second point is Sabaji is factually wrong. Yes, Amit Shah ji, belonging to the BJP, has brought the NRC in the forefront. The Supreme Court had ordered that NRC be implemented, and you will be surprised. There is a case, Sarbananda Sonowal, The Congress government did not have the spine to implement the Supreme Court order, and they in fact changed the law, which was struck down by the Supreme Court. We take a lot of pride. Narendra Modi ji doesn't care for votes. He only cares for the country. We implemented the NRC.
Yeah.
It is very, very patronizing.
So can I answer, Gaurav?
Yes, please.
I'll answer, Gaurav.
Yes, Sabha Naqvi, answer.
So the NRC was for the NRC, the Supreme Court order NRC was for Assam, Gaurav.
I know that, Sabhaji, but the point is, Mamata Banerjee had opposed the implementation of NRC when it was happening in Assam. Mamata Banerjee had said you cannot deport Rohingyas.
Exactly.
Are you aware of that?
No,
are you aware of that? Have you seen Amit Shah ji has clearly said that state by state, if required in national interest, he will implement NRC all over India. That is our party stand.
For Assam, your party against
when
what
you
the
say-
Let us
Supreme Court intended is using it as an electoral ploy in Bengal.
Okay, one second. The Supreme Court has come in. No, 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Because today, I'll tell you the answer, and no one is going to tell this to you on this panel, especially those who are towing a particular line. And the answer is very simple. It's vote bank. It's vote bank derivative. There are a large number of individuals who have been able to come in over the years, change demographies, got voting rights. I'm not saying, excuse me, Sabha Naqvi, stop sounding so persecuted in life, for God's sakes. Rise above your narrow paranoias. Relax. No, please. Come on, don't always paint. In fact, it is so patronizing that Indian Muslims need to be wooed by Bangladeshi stars. And I've been resisting saying this. How patronizing it is. How patronizing it is for Muslims to be courted by Pakistani and Bangladeshi stars. What are you trying to say? I've been resisting saying these words. But I'm telling you this, Sabha Naqvi, how shocking, how shocking, how shocking. What is the message you're sending out to Muslim voters in this country? That they must listen to Pakistanis and they must listen to Bangladeshis? I'm disgusted. Anyhow, we don't want to go down this route. There has been worse infractions today. And I want to move on.